Okay, so I'm just going to ask some questions regarding the Epstein and Diddy situation. So I'm just asking questions. I'm not saying that someone should or shouldn't agree or disagree or have a point of view X, Y, and Z. I'm just asking questions. So if I'm asking questions and they're the same kind of questions that the news and other people are asking on YouTube, if you have a problem with YouTube, if you have a problem with your guidelines, etc., then that means you have to have a problem with all the news media. So make sure you give them a strike or warn them or whatever you supposedly do to everybody else, because I'm not doing anything different. Matter of fact, I'm sending a copy of this to my lawyer, so they're going to know ahead of time. So if you have an issue with this, then we might have to have words. So here we go. Welcome to the Nut House. I'm just asking questions, and again, this is all for just fun. Like this is just entertainment, everybody. And I'm just asking questions. I'm not saying anything. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just simply asking questions. So, is it a coincidence that Epstein and Diddy news came out at the same time? Do you think these are both cover-ups for important big name people? I'm just asking a question. Do you think these are cover-ups? I'm not saying they are or they aren't. I'm simply asking a question. There's nothing wrong with asking a question. Do you think that the fighters cult and the Franklin scandal, which both allegedly involved important politicians in Washington, D.C., is a coincidence to what's going on now? Do you ever wonder why these types of allegations just seem to keep coming out about government over and over again, at least since the 1980s? And if you consider Ben Franklin, then way back in the day. So, do you think it's interesting that the alleged types of parties that Diddy had are allegedly the same thing Ben Franklin allegedly took part in the Hellfire Club? Do you trust the news knowing that the CIA, aka that part of the government, worked hand in hand with the news to allegedly push propaganda on us via Project or Operation Mockingbird? Do you believe the news in the explanation they give as to why the bones of dead children were found under Ben Franklin's home are legitimate or not? So, do you trust the news narrative on that? Okay. Now, if, and I stress the word if, there was indeed a powerful and wealthy list of people who were being protected from coming out in the Epstein case, wouldn't that be similar to the allegations of the powers that would be protecting the same kinds of people in the fighters cult and the Franklin scandal back in the 1980s? And if that were so, would that imply that this has been going on for a very long time? And if there is this long list of rich and powerful people who are in a club that openly is allegedly involved with these depraved acts, how did they all meet up? Was it on Craigslist? Hey, rich weirdos, come to meet the club on Craigslist. Was it on Facebook somewhere like that? I'm sure it wasn't in, like, if they still had yellow pages, in the yellow pages, you just look it up, hey, weirdos.com or something. So, how did they all meet up? Like, and like, in what context would they feel comfortable in doing so and revealing who they are? So, like, shouldn't they be scared to death to reveal their disgusting acts to other people for risk of losing their reputations, etc.? That's what I would think. Like, I mean, I can't see how all these weirdos would just be like, "Yeah, I'm a weirdo too. Let's go do this," knowing that like their whole reputations and lives would be threatened by any of this stuff ever coming out. So, wouldn't that mean that all these people would have to have been in a place or a group where they all felt comfortable in expressing their desire for such said depraved acts? And since we haven't heard about this in the open until events like this, which are seemingly swept away under the political or legislative rug, then wouldn't that imply that there were secret societies involved? Since there's such a big group of people that all feel comfortable in talking about these depraved acts, surely they must be linked together somehow. And if they are, then it surely implies that there is a group. And if there is a group, then how could you not, or how could, wouldn't it be possible that that said group, if allegedly, would it be like a secret society that they're keeping all this stuff on the down low? Doesn't that sound logical? Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. So wouldn't that mean like they felt comfortable in expressing themselves among each other? So a lot of times, I've heard allegedly is that part of the reason why they are in they're have evidence on these people is for blackmail. Like that, I heard this in the news. So you can play in the news. In the news they were talking about how that allegedly Epstein was linked to a foreign intelligence agency, and that allegedly Epstein was what he was doing was blackmailing a bunch of people, right? So first of all, that has to imply that like all these people that he's blackmailing, um, that they had to at some point feel comfortable enough to explain, yeah, I'm into this really weird stuff, Epstein. How can you hook me up? So again, if allegedly a powerful politician is working hard to suppress the truth from coming out, then wouldn't that mean that they were either allegedly part of the secret society, so they're one of them, or less powerful than the secret society? I don't see how it could be one or the other. Which, in that hypothetical situation, which one do you guys think it is, or it would be? Would this said politician with all this power be covering up for the secret society allegedly because they were one of them? Does that sound logical? Or does it make more sense that, it's just a question, would it make more sense if he was covering up for, he or she or whatever this powerful politician is that's covering up for these people, he would be doing it because he is not as powerful as this secret society? So in other words, a secret society trumps the politician. Like they're a higher level than the politician, meaning these politicians are puppets for the real power, which is this secret society. So is there a third option? I can't think of one. Why else would a powerful politician, maybe the most powerful politician in the land, if not the world, uh, be subject to somebody else? What else would make sense? I'm not sure. So if you think of a third option, you let me know. So again, in that hypothetical situation, it's you have to ask yourself, which is it? Are they part of the club, the secret society, or is the real power in the secret society that's behind the puppet? Either way, you know, that's what I'm talking about.